Hi, good night. Welcome to Conversation with Bert. I'm getting an echo there. We have some technical difficulties that we're trying to work through there. Good night, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I've not been on for a while. I was busy with the Guyana Independence celebration here in New York. So I'm back. So share the link, everybody. Take a minute to share the link. If you're watching on Facebook, like and follow me, whichever page you're watching from. If you're watching from YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, just subscribe. So take a minute, subscribe, pause, follow, and like. Subscribe, pause, follow, and like. Come on, everybody. If you're just watching. Now, we have a technical issue that we've not been able to resolve I'm not sure why this broadcast is not is being this program is being broadcast only to persons who are my friends and who follow me. I'm not sure why we have that issue, but we're trying to resolve it. Um, every day, and this is something we're going to discuss with the State Department. The attacks on us here in the United States by the government of Guyana. I want the U.S. ambassador to Guyana to know that the Guyana government has a program, an entire unit in the office of the Prime Minister. Undeniable, we have videos with them, we have the names of everybody, and we're going to submit them to the U.S. government and the U.S. Embassy, who monitors these shows and try to suppress it by writing to Facebook, by filing false complaints. And we have information from documented evidence from someone in that unit that is coordinated by Kwame McCoy. So yes, Rickford Burke, I am saying that the United States government needs to investigate the PPP government of Guyana, who has an entire department under the Prime Minister's office dedicated to blocking free speech in America and blocking and suppressing Guyanese from expressing themselves on social media. And I am telling Kwame McCoy and the government of Guyana and the Prime Minister that we know that they're doing that. We're not asking. I am telling them that they're doing that. Are we going to get you all? So, having said that, keep sharing the link, everybody. So we're trying to resolve this block right there where they can't stand the fact that you're working on it. All right, so we have some focus. So those of you who are watching and trying to, or if you know anyone trying to join, who's not who's don't follow me, the broadcast is not going out public on one page, only on one page. So you can they can switch to another page or switch to YouTube. But we're working to get that resolved right now. But hey, they're upset because they don't have the viewership that we have. And just to rub it in on them, the last show that I did, I'm trying to get the stats here. $6 million. Oh no, sorry. The views from the end of March to June 11th, which is yesterday, from mid March to June 11th, 6 million. I'm not sure if you can see. Am I doing it right? No, I'm not doing it right. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, it went dark. Sorry. 6 million. All right. So, I mean, they're going to think back something. How we could block the millions of people from watching our page. Elections are come up by. We got black them. We got black them. So that's the situation with that. So we try to get it resolved. Keep sharing the link, everybody. Keep sharing the link. Share the link. Share the link. Share the link. I'm reading some messages here. So let me say good night to a few people. Good night, Cheryl Solomon. I'm not sure why my screen is. Oh wow, I see. Let me. I think we figured out one of the issues here. So let us go back to the intro. I'll be back in a second. Back. All right, back to the show. So I'm saying good night to everybody. Good night, Kevin George. Good night, Monica Jones. Good night to Joylyn Cookie. Sorry, David. Good night. Keep sharing the link, everybody. Come on, share the link. Share the link. Share the link. So we still have this issue where we're private. We're trying to work on that. I'm not sure why. That's something that the technical guys here are trying to sort out. Let's see if we can do it that way. Are you trying something else? Okay, good. So, I mean, I think it's coming public now. You guys can see it. Share the link, everybody. Share the link. Share the link. Share the link. I can see that it's public. Share the link, everybody. Well, I'm not sure if we solved the problem. All right, so we'll look into that. We look into that. Share the link. Share the link. Share the link, everybody. All right. So first of all, I want to thank everybody. You know, I'm chairman of the Guyana Independence Committee here in New York. I want to thank everyone for coming out, thousands upon thousands of thousands. Some say 10,000, some say 12,000. I know there are thousands for coming out for the Justice for Adriana March and the Guyana Independence Parade, or Guyana Independence Parade, just Adriana Young Justice March. We had a wonderful time. We brought much awareness to the murder of Adriana Young and the cry for justice. Let me just show you guys a piece of the parade in case you missed it. Let's go.
Minutes. 10 minutes. Who's saying that?
Does somebody else complain? Say somebody saying one Guyana.
Because you Telly's either me or you listen to.
All right, that's one of my members here, kind of worked up. All right, so that's the parade.
You know.
I don't tell by you like row bad by. All right, let's enjoy part of the parade.
No one Guyana. No, don't say one Guyana. Watch our party. I'm telling you, it's a different vibe. Why are people building? What's the vibe? Oh God! Shout to the whole Young family. Watch your body. Watch Ramona. Watch Cassidy. I told that we fight to nobody say these people. Watch your body. Hey, 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 hey. I told y'all we party, man. Watch your body. Cassidy, what's up? Watch your reminds up for the Guyanese people. Right with it. Everybody take out your flag right now. Watch how we party. Adriana Young, watch the party. If y'all want some real good food, come right here, 40 seconds, pop Guyanese food. Watch the party. Watch the party. Hey, 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 hey. So we got this right. No, you can't. You can't be among the people with that thing. Everybody, let the bus pass through. Let the bus pass through. Let the bus pass through. Move on the side. Move on the side. Let the bus pass through. Oh my God, these people watch the bus. Who has done that? What is it? Everybody take out your flag right now. Keep fighting, Adriana, watch the flag. I'm gonna show y'all how we do it different. Got these people. Chip. Hold up, they tell me everybody gotta clear the road so the buses can pass, right? Y'all gotta move to the side. Move to the side. Move to the side. Too much. Go. All right, let me try. We're going to break anywhere in there, all right?
All right, so that's all right. So that was part of the parade. Keep sharing the link, everybody. Keep sharing the link. And as I was saying, we still having this issue with the broadcast. Anyway, we're gonna get that sorted out. So it's somehow it's being blocked on one of my Facebook pages, which is my main page. All right, so I want to talk a couple of things. Share the link, everybody. I want to talk about again, I want to say thanks to everybody. Thanks to the volunteers, Nicole, Candice, Chanel, All the members of the Guyana Independence Committee, thank you guys for work well done. I want to thank the Young family for accepting our invitation, to come up to New York for this event. All right, so let's get to business. So I want to return to the Adriana Young case because during the course of the planning for the independence celebration, the Canadian mystery man, the Canadian international mystery man, or the man of international mystery, submitted his report proudly. Let me see if I could show part of it here. Right, we got it up here now. So this man here, the Canadian detective, retired, Mr. Leonard McCushin, who the PPP government brought in to investigate this case, submitted his report. Now, according to Starbuck News, the headline is, Canadian investigator says saw no sign of foul play in Adriana's death. And that's the Guyana Police Force said that. The Guyana Police Force said that. He said that. He didn't release his report. He gave it to the Guyana Police Force. Now, let's see how he did this investigation. According to the Guyana Police Force, a retired Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigator found no evidence of foul play in his probe of the death of Adriana Young. And he implied that her body had been in the pool of the Doubleday Hotel from the time she went missing on April 23rd up to the morning of the 24th when it was discovered. That's some real bullshit. I mean, how he know that? Anyway, Guyana Police Force issued a press release around 10 a.m. on Friday on Mr. Leonard McCutchin's report and listed some of his findings. Questions have been asked as to why the police have not released the report in its entirety, along with the finalized autopsy. Mr. McCutchin's suggestion that the body was in the pool all the time at the Tushin Hotel will again raise questions about the efforts that the police and others made to carefully search it in the aftermath of Adriana going missing. According to the Guyana Police Force, McCutchin said, if a thorough search had been done of the pool by properly trained and properly equipped people at the outset, this investigation would have very likely not garnered the international attention and political pressure that it finds itself in today. There are varying reports of searching of the pool. This is Sabak News saying this. There are varying reports of searches of the pool having been conducted in the aftermath of Adriana going missing, but there has been no comprehensive and definite report prepared on this. The police yesterday provided the following summary of McCutchin's findings. After spending the man was in the country for 4 days. After spending a considerable amount of time reviewing all of the evidence and information that had been provided to me, it is my belief that there is no evidence of foul play in this matter. All of the evidence provided to me, So he is not aware of whether or not he was provided with all of the evidence. That's number one. Number two, he's not aware, or he did not conduct an independent investigation. Well, he can't. He's one man. But he concluded that there was no foul play. So if Miss Petal, let's us suppose that a lady named Petal was a cleaner or a clerk or a manager at Doubleday Hotel. And she saw something. And she gave a statement to the police that said, I saw someone call Adriana out the pool, walk her to the bathroom, and then I never saw her again. There are no cameras to verify that. But if the police did not give Mr. McCutcheon this statement, he can't know that. Right? So how can he make this conclusion? Rubbish. It's an insult to the intelligence of the Guyanese people. Next, on the video evidence from Lot 7 Tushin, Public Road, that no person, including Adriana Young, were seen leaving under other than normal circumstances from the area of Doubleday Hotel, from the time she arrived until the time she was noticed missing. I'm trying to understand what's the point he's making here. On the video evidence from Lot 7 Tushin, Public Road, that no person, including Adriana Young, were seen leaving under other than normal circumstances from the area of the hotel from the time she arrived until the time that she was noticed missing. This is not information that we don't know. That's why the parents stood up there all night. They were saying that they did not see any video with her leaving the hotel. Next point. None of the persons present at Doubleday Hotel saw or recorded in any format any evidence that Adriana Young either left or was taken from the pool area. He does not know that. Because he was not given any information or evidence to support that, he can't make that conclusion. He does not know that. What he could say is, no evidence was presented to me of any recording of Adrienne being led out of the area or on her own accord left the area. That's what he has to say. He can't say no person present recorded. This man is a jackass. I mean, this is insulting. This is so insulting. See, there was no evidence of foul play. Lord Jesus, this man come from Canada. Came from Canada. Spent 4 days. Reviewed what the Guyana police force felt like giving him. And he said there was no foul play by any person, name or unnamed. This included, but it was not limited to, physical examination of her body by several doctors. So he didn't do this examination himself, you know. He going on based on what's he's going on here saying. Guyana Police Force said, McCutcheon praised the quality of police work. This has to be incredibly dishonest if he said that. This is a self-serving statement. Guyana Police Force said McCutcheon praised the quality of their work. He said he was given 400 pages of documents and a quantity of digital forensic evidence in various formats. According to Guyana Police Force, McCutcheon said that after reviewing all of the material, it is very apparent to me that members who investigated this incident took the utmost time and considerable effort to speak to any and all persons that had any information provided. They not interviewed the father yet, who actually took the girl out of the pool. Never interviewed. Or at the time when this detective met with the family, the father had not been interviewed and several other persons were not interviewed. Laura Batson was not interviewed. And she saw certain things apparently, when they were in the hotel attempting to find. Never interviewed. Again, cover up. And the Ghana police force wants to know why the nation mistrusts them. This guy, his report is mendacious. If not mendacious, erroneous and misleading. The police said, Further, McCutcheon said, further, McCutcheon is reported to have said that the facts surrounding a great deal of care in documenting the movement of the body of Adriana Young after she was taken to the Leonard Kochi Hospital is exceptional and something that I have not seen before. This is utter nonsense. Hogwash. We listen to the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health said the body was taken to Leonard Hospital. It was placed in a body bag. The Minister of Health said it was sealed. The body was sealed and taken to Ezekiel Funeral Home, where it was never touched again until the morning when it was opened at Dr. Balwan Singh Hospital, where those seals were removed. And I understand the bag had several seals, about 4 or 5 seals. But that's not true. The Minister of Health lied. This report by the Canadian detective is false. Because we know that the parents saw Dr. Neil Singh at Ezekiel Funeral Home the Sunday before the autopsy, or the Monday before the autopsy, because it was done on Tuesday, the Monday was a holiday. And he had opened the body bag. He was examining the body. So how, man, come on, man. I mean, this. Why did this man come to Guyana? This is an embarrassment. This is a Guyana police force should be ashamed to put out this report. How this man can say that? The facts surrounding the movement of the body was exceptional and that he never seen before. This man is a con artist. He was paid by the government to come and say this. It is disgraceful. He stated that upon completion of his work, he can say that the statements that were taken are reasonably well detailed. Again, the man don't know half the things but that he's talking about. Overall, it was my opinion that the members of the Guyana police force that conducted the investigation, up to now we don't know who they are. We don't know who are these members of the Guyana police force. Overall, it is my opinion that the members of the Guyana police force that conducted the investigation after the initial response did an exemplary job and should be commended for their efforts and diligence under very trying. So this is a lie. The Guyana police force never conducted any form of investigation at the crime scene at the time the body was found. None. Absolutely none. They didn't examine footprints. They didn't examine fingerprints around the pool on the rail. Nothing. They didn't look for hair and fiber evidence. No crime scene unit came to the hotel. The hotel was set on fire under very suspicious circumstances. So what investigation is he talking about? Overall, in my opinion, the members of the Guyana Police Force that conducted this investigation after the initial response did an exemplary job. What exemplary job? They screw up the whole crime scene. They allow people to trample on it. They didn't cordon off the pool. Did they take fiber evidence from the body? No. They whisk it away to Renner Hospital. Did they do DNA? Did they take DNA samples? Did they screen everybody who was in the hotel? Got all their contact numbers? Take all their home addresses, copies of their IDs? No. What damn investigation was exemplary? This was a disgraceful. A minister of the government told me that this was the worst police investigation in the history of Guyana. What sort of nonsense report is this? I want to talk to the Canadian investigator. I want to talk to the investigator. He's unprofessional. He's unethical. He is dishonest. And he came here as a slave to the government, a servant to the government, an agent of the government. He's a false prophet. He's an imposter. He's a liar. Nobody in Guyana should believe that report. It's absolute hogwash. And the government should hang its head in shame. Shame to publish this trash. Anyway. Now, I also noticed that there's a complaint about one Jennifer. Let me see if I could find it. Share the link, everybody. I know we're under some serious pressure here because we're not getting to send this broadcast to the general public, and we'll try to rectify that. But there's one, is it Jennifer Ali? Let me see. There's some person by the name of Jennifer Ali that is harassing the family, Adriana's family. I want to pull up her profile. All right, so let me see. All right, so this is Jennifer Ali. This is her profile. And she has been harassing Adriana's mother. Attacking her. You see, she's making fun of Melly Mel there. let's look at some of her um, photographs. I saw some malicious. I'm not sure where she's based. But here you see her mocking. If I'm not mistaken, she's even published. So you notice she's laughing. She's mocking the family in these little clips here. Let's see. I saw some photographs earlier today where um, okay, these are the videos. I want the photographs. Okay, here you go. I guess I'm blocked from them now. Let me see. Right. So, for instance, I think I saw. So you see, she said here, this family hasn't this family ain't got no shame, disgraceful. Hmm. Okay. So that she's posting the family there again, but she's also inboxing the family with very nasty comments. But our investigators are trying to figure out who is this person. She's obviously a PPP supporter. Anyway, so this is the person, Jennifer Ali, who is harassing the family. So we are doing. I just wanted the public to know that we're doing. We have one of our investigators on it, and we're trying to figure out where she lives. I'm not sure if she lives in Guyana or if she lives abroad. It doesn't say. Anybody who has information on this person, send it to me. But we find out. Enough said. Excuse me. All right, so I want to move on to coalition politics. Coalition politics. Coalition politics. Um, so we've been seeing the back and forth of recent between the AFC and the APNU, or the AFC and the PNC, regarding who's to be blamed for the failure to form a coalition. And I want to read a statement, a letter that I wrote actually 2 days ago on this matter and make some comments. because I think it's ridiculous, and we are to a point now where it is disgraceful that these leaders from the two main opposition parties cannot come together. So this is the statement that we issued, or I issued. It says, I've noticed a statement by my honorable friend, Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes, AFC leader, published yesterday, June 10th, 2025, titled, The Alliance for Change categorically rejects the mischaracterization and inaccuracies regarding our role in the opposition unity efforts and the ongoing coalition discussions. Mr. Hughes said his statement was in response to my Facebook commentary titled, David Patterson and the AFC's Big Bar and Tiny Might is counterproductive. I insist that the contentions expressed in my commentary are true and accurate. Mr. Hughes' statement essentially set out a defense of the AFC's illustrious conditions and principles expressed during the negotiations, and they made it public with the APNU and PNC to form a new coalition to challenge the PPP at the next election on September 1. I regret that his comments invoke fatigue and exhaustion. We have heard them ad nauseum. They exhaust us because 3 months out from the election, the AFC leader, like the PNC leader, seems content to merely argue to the country the reasons for them or the main opposition's failure to form a coalition that the people demanded of them, rather than advance the reasons and benefits for keep working to achieve a coalition. Opposition voters consistently said through various mediums that the opposition parties must unite and again form a coalition and contest the elections as one party to depose the PPP at the polls. This is an overwhelming mandate from the people. The fact that both parties are defying this mandate and defending it with implausible rationalizations and platitudes is an aberration, an unfortunate abandonment of the will of the people. At this point, the leader of the PNC and the leader of the AFC and their surrogates need to stop telling the people what their respective party think or want, shall we thinks or want. Stop the public bloviating and rationalization of their obdurate but counterproductive positions. Those party ideals are not bigger than the needs of the people, needs and will of the people. So they should spare us the misfortune of listening to their monotonous regurgitations in defiance of the will of the opposition supporters. The hardened positions of the two parties are selfish and aims to preserve party ideals and are not in pursuit of the people's interests. By retreating to their self-fulfilling positions, the parties are recklessly condemning Guyana further into PPP kleptocracy, authoritarian ethnocracy, and dictatorship, as they assure Barrett Jack they won the PPP and our finale of a second term. It is completely shameful for these two parties It is completely shameful that these two parties are willing to go to the polls independently, knowing fully well that they may lose. Which political party on earth goes into election to lose while being fully aware that there's an alternate path to win, but deliberately finds all sorts of excuses to take their reckless, self-serving, selfishness in choosing the losing path? Let me read that back. Which party on earth goes to the elections to lose while being fully aware that there is an alternate path to win, but deliberately finds all sorts of excuses to their reckless selfishness in choosing the losing path? I reiterate, the AFC has a good leader that is appealing to the electorate. However, its support among the electorate is infinitesimal. Yet the AFC continues to make demands that are unfeasible and incommensurable with its political capabilities and realities. These crazy demands will indeed complicate any negotiation for the coalition. I call on the AFC to abandon these lofty demands and be humble, practical, and reasonable. What is the objective? To enable the PPP to win or to uproot the PPP from government? On the other hand, the PNC has mass support among the electorate, and the leader has tremendous political bona fides, and a national organization that can meaningfully undergird a national election campaign structure. Admittedly, the PNC has challenges and must mobilize resources and new young professional leaders into its membership to rebuild its infrastructure and reputation, which it has the ability to do. Before it can commence the election campaign, the PNC leader, 3 months before the election, faces mutiny, disunity, and disloyalty in the party, as well as significant defections, which I'll address later, to the PPP. His enemies within are joining with the PPP to mount a psychological warfare against the PNC and its leader. Therefore, the party has remarkable challenges, which makes its attractiveness to the electorate challenging. Worse, the party seems to be in oblivion and woefully misguided regarding its reality and standing with the people. The PNC too has publicized conditions for a coalition that are unreasonable and it must abandon, which it must abandon. Their intractability on their demands are also hold on, I missed it there. Are also divorced from reality. To be candid, the PNC argument that because it has a bigger party, it must have the presidential candidate slot, and the AFC's argument that because the PNC is demanding the presidency, which has great executive powers, entitles the AFC to a larger share of cabinet positions, is unmitigated nonsense. Seriously, I never heard such trash yet. It seems to me that the AFC is more concerned, if not obsessed, with power and neutralizing the presidency. And they're making this a prerequisite to joining the coalition rather than be focused on deposing the PPP from power. It is myopic. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. The AFC's argument is that, okay, the PNC the APNU wants the presidency. But the presidency is so powerful that in order to negate the powers of the presidency, they want control of almost the whole cabinet. And they got 4% of the vote in the electorate. It's absolute nonsense. It speaks of greed. And I've criticized the PNC for not bending as well. But there's nobody in the world bending to that trash. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And I got friends in the AFC. And I'm mature enough and feel confident in our friendship that I could tell them they're talking nonsense. These proposals are trash. They need to scrap it. Nobody would agree to that. Why would you want to neutralize the presidency? And the thing about it too is that the proposals that they are making are contrary to the Constitution. They're contrary to the Constitution. Unless you could come up with a proper agreement and stick to that agreement, you can't neutralize the presidency when you get 65% of the cabinet. What are you going to do? Put a handcuff on the president and tie it to the chair? The president still has the presidency. And at any time, the president could fire any minister and reappoint a PNC minister. I mean, it's not thought out. These proposals that they're putting forward are not properly thought out, and they're contrary to the Constitution. And they are indeed complicating. I'm not saying the PNC is not making unreasonable demands too, because I think the demand from the PNC that its leader must be the presidential candidate is also foolishness. And they need to start looking at mechanisms to satisfy everybody's fears, wants, needs, desires, but within the context of the interests of the people. The people. We don't care about what the party wants. We care about what the party, how the party can fulfill the mandate of the people and what the parties can do if they get into government to, one, develop the country, two, improve the lives of the people and foster human development. Too many people in Guyana die over simple illness that is treatable. Focus on that. Give me a policy, both parties, give us a policy for that and appoint someone who can efficiently and effectively execute that policy. That's what we want to hear a discussion about. We don't care if you want 30% of this and 30%. That's nonsense. It is not germane to the interests of the people. It is germane to you fighting for power. And y'all been in there, y'all had power before, and you did nothing with it. Nothing they did with the power they had to improve the lives of the people significantly. Significantly. And I've been consistent. I've harshly criticized the Granger administration. They focused so much on fixing problems and putting mechanisms in places on. They didn't have enough time now to focus on human development, focus on policies that can benefit the people, their supporters and other Guyanese. And they're coming back with the nonsense again, fighting for power. In what the AFC said they want 65%. They got 4% of the vote. 4%. It is so ridiculous it gets me upset. The AFC has 4% of the vote in the electorate. But they want 65% of the government and 65% in parliament. What nonsense is that? Who are these people? How would they come up with these really nonsense? Nobody's going to agree to that. And that's why we can't have a coalition. And I'm being exceptionally candid about the AFC because their proposals are almost obscene. Obscene. We need a coalition. Unless the AFC really does not want a coalition. If the AFC does not want a coalition, they should say that. Go and run by themselves. And I guarantee you, they probably can't even get 3 seats on the road. And for the PNC is weak. The leader of the PNC has too many opponents within and without. And he has to find a way to bring everybody together. Too many people are leaving, too many defections. The party is too divided. You can't go divided into an election. You have to abandon all of this controversy and all of the criticisms and all of the internal fighting. This is a time for everybody to come together. I'm looking on the outside, and I'm on the outside, and maybe it's easy for me to say. But I'm just saying, like, you can't go into any elections with so much forces against you. You're not going to win. You're going to destroy yourself. And that's a weakness. The party leadership has to bring the party together. We need a coalition. And if these leaders cannot, in the interest of the people, come up with a coalition, tell me why you want to go to the election. Why? The best to retire and go home and let some other people take over the parties? Why? It's a scenario like this. These 10 people here constitute the electorate. These 3 people over here constitute the leadership of the parties. These 3 people who constitute the leadership of the party are depending on the 10 people over here who is the electorate, who constitute the electorate. And these 10 people say, hey, yeah, I'm going to vote for all of y'all. But y'all have to unite. Don't come to us one by one, separately, independently, telling me nonsense. And these 3 people telling the 10 people whose votes they need, go to hell. We ain't want to, y'all got to do what we say, right? But they're depending on these people over here to vote for them. The electorate, the 10 people, will rebuke them, would reject them. And that's what's going to happen. The people are saying, y'all form a united front and confront the PPP, because we cannot take 5 more years of kleptocracy, racism, racial discrimination, ethnic supremacy, the brutalization of our people, death squad killings, police harassment, police brutality, murder covered up. We can't take it. But then this over here, the party leader saying, well, yeah, I got to take whatever we come to y'all with. No. Reject them if they come independently. Reject them. Politicians work for the people. Politicians pursue the interests of the people. Political parties carry out a mandate from the people. The people. The people. Not individual personal interests. I want to be president. I want to be this. I want to be minister. And they have the cart before the horse. Why on earth? Let me take this off. Why on earth is the AFC and the APNU at this stage quibbling about who should get what ministries? They didn't even win the elections yet. And they are so proud to come to the nation and tell the nation, oh, we propose that we want this ministry and that ministry, and they didn't agree to that. At this point in time, what you need is a coalition structure for a campaign. Agree on broad principles of the coalition. Agree on how you're going to run the campaign. Agree on the principal leaders that will take the list of candidates to the electorate. Leave all that thing about one ministry who will get to a technical team that will work and study policy and match policy with party and candidate and come up with recommendations to come back to the leadership of the coalition for approval. That's how it's done. You don't negotiate up front who get Ministry of Housing, I want ministry. You don't win nothing yet. You don't have a government. What ministry you want that doesn't exist? Who's advising these people? They're disappointing the nation. They're disappointing the electorate. Stop this nonsense about negotiation for ministry. Buckle down. Discuss the nuts and bolts of a coalition. A campaign structure. Who's going to be the presidential candidate? And if I am so controversial that everybody's opposed to me, I would step aside and say, man, let me find the best man out there. In this country, if you don't have a candidate who can win in the district, please bring them in. Fly one in from Florida, move somebody in this place and so, and win. You do what it takes to win. You don't tell me, well, it's me turn now, so I gotta go because every leader so far run for president. Utter nonsense. The best person who can win goes forward into the battle. We won't win. Winning is the objective. Winning by any means possible. Follow the PPP. Follow the PPP. Let us win by any means possible. Even if the thief and then I run and tell the international community, watch what the man they say thieving. And it's them thieving, you know. They win by any means possible. It is about winning. Winning. These guys literally are planning to go into the elections to lose it. Literally. It is inconceivable. It is inconceivable. And yes, I'm frustrated. So my message to the parties and their leadership: sit down, buckle down, form a coalition, confront the PPP, and win. We don't want to hear no excuses about who wants to support who, and this body wants to support nobody, and this body said they want this ministry, and because we can't get 10 ministry and 41, this and that, we can't call it. Nonsense. Don't come back to us telling us about ministry and who want ministry. We want to know how you're going to form this coalition. We want to know who are the candidates, and we want to know how you're going about to mobilize resources to go out there and campaign. Have a good night, everybody.